What's up, guys? Welcome to Flow, your 14-day jump rope journey. Today is day 1, Foundation. Let's have some fun. Welcome, my friends. Thank you for joining me today. I am so happy to have you here and excited for this journey we are about to go on together. I want to give a huge congratulations to you all for showing up and arriving today. That is and will always be the most challenging part of jumping rope. But we are here together, so let's do this thing. Today's practice is focused on one thing, our foundation. Our entire jump rope journey through these next 14 days and onward will be built upon the foundation we set here today. Jumping rope implies that we will be jumping up, and we both know that what goes up must come down and land softly on the ground. And in order to promote safety and wellness throughout our practice, we will put a strong focus on our landing mechanics. The softer we land, the healthier our bodies will be, and the longer we will be able to practice for. So in order to focus on landing mechanics, today I'm going shoes off, and I encourage you to do the same. Go ahead and take a second, kick those shoes off, set them to the side so that we can really focus on how our foot is coming in contact with the ground. That is our foundation, the contact point between the foot and the ground. So you also may be wondering why I got this chair here. This chair is going to help a lot with stabilizing the body while we work on different balancing drills today that will be on 1 foot, 2 feet, 1.5 feet. And if you have a chair, I invite you to go grab it and bring it back. It will totally be worth it. If you don't have a chair nearby, perhaps a wall could help you, or a bench. And if you're in the middle of nowhere and you have nothing with you, it's okay. You're just gonna have to balance. But if you have a chair, highly recommend going to get it and coming back. With that said, let's get into today's practice. I invite you to find some space to follow along with me, and for this practice, feel free to use me for visual reference anytime you need, and allow my voice to guide you. I encourage you all to do your best to stay mindful and aware of what your body is doing. So let's start with our feet firmly planted on the ground, and let's turn our focus down to our feet to identify the 4 corners of each foot. We have 1 corner near our big toe, 1 corner near the pinky toe, and 1 corner on either side of the heels. Once we've identified those, go ahead and stand up, and let's identify this as a resting position. With our feet flat on the ground, this is a great resting position when we're standing. We're chilling. We're not going on any runs with our feet glued to the ground like this, and we're certainly not jumping over any ropes with our feet flat on the ground like that. So let's talk about how to make this resting position a little more active. Go ahead and place your hand on the chair if you have one, and let's spread the toes as wide as possible. From here, let's claw those toes into the ground and float the heels up. While we're here, we're now balancing on the front of our foot. We're going to call this section of our foot our platforms. I invite you to take a look down at your platforms, and let's identify the 4 corners of our platforms. We have 1 corner near the tip of our big toe. We have 1 corner near the base of our big toe. We have 1 corner near the tip of our pinky toe, and 1 corner near the base of our pinky toe. While we're up here, we want to evenly distribute that pressure through our platforms. Once you find that even pressure, let's slowly lower those heels towards the ground slow and controlled, landing as softly as possible. We're going to practice going up and down into that position. So spread the toes wide, root through the platforms, float the heels up, even pressure beneath the feet. We're starting to build strength in the ankles and tune into our foundation. Slowly lower towards the ground, slow and controlled, taking about 3 to 5 seconds to land. Again, spread the toes wide, root through the platforms, float up. If you feel like you can, take your hand off the chair and try to balance here. You can rest your arms at your side, you can put them up, out, overhead, wherever you feel like. If you're balancing, tune into the pressure, maintain that even weight distribution, and lower back down, slow and controlled. Great. Spread those toes wide, root through the platforms, float up. We're working balance, we're building strength, stability in our ankles. Slowly lower down, slow and controlled. Excellent work. Next, let's spread the feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Take it down into a slight squat. Not a deep squat, just a slight squat. From here, let's push the knees out away from the midline, and again, tune into that foundation beneath us. Let's place our hands on the chair, spread those toes wide, root through the platforms, and float the whole body up while maintaining that squat position. Now let's identify the four corners of our platforms, evenly distribute that weight, and slowly lower down. Slow and controlled. You may feel a little bit of trembling in your lower leg muscles, and know that is totally normal. That means your mind and body are working together to figure out this new movement pattern. Spread the toes wide, root through the platforms, float up. Evenly distribute that pressure. Digging those toes into the ground, slowly lower down without making a sound. Great. Again, float up. Balance. Take it down slow, building strength, building stability. If you can, try this without hanging onto the chair. If you still need the chair, that is absolutely okay. Here we go. Spread the toes wide, root through the platforms, float up. We're balancing, fighting for that even pressure. Slowly take it down. Great. And again, rise up. Balance. Slow and steady, take it down. Awesome. Gently rise to standing, bring the feet together, and shake it out. Great work. Next, let's bring our feet back to shoulder width apart and spread the toes wide, root through the foundation, float all the way up. Float all the way up. And we'll notice that from here, if we were to jump, it would be very difficult to do so. This position is not ideal for jumping. You know, we're already up. Where are we going to go? So we want to lower down towards the ground, but not all the way. We want to find this position where the heels are slightly lifted off of the ground and we feel springy. I encourage you to explore this area, and you want to find a spot that feels good for you. You want to feel springy. So this what we're feeling, this is our shock absorption mechanism. When we're landing, this part of our foot, these muscles in our legs, these are going to absorb the shock so that we don't collapse with our heels on the ground. Because if we jump and we just land on the heels and it's heavy and there's a thud, that shock goes from the ground into the ankles, knees, hips, spine, comes out the head. All kinds of things start to happen. So we want to absorb that into the muscles. And this is how we do it with this spring. But this spring involves activation and control of those lower leg muscles, our calves, the gastrocnemius, the soleus, all those little muscles in the foot. They're all working together. So you'll find that the spring feels the most comfortable when the knees are soft. We definitely don't want a huge bend to the knees while we're doing this, because then we kind of lose that spring, and we don't want the knees locked out either. We want a soft bend to them. Just keep them soft and be mindful of that. From here, let's shift the weight side to side, maintaining that spring, or just bouncing up and down. Feet are still on the ground, toes are spread wide, tuning in to that foundation always. Shifting side to side. Great. Go ahead and walk the feet shoulder width apart. And if you feel ready, let's take off. We're going to jump off the ground and land with the toes spread, trying to absorb that shock as best we can. And again, jump. Excellent. A couple things we can do to promote better shock absorption. Keep the core tight. Right here, tight core, rigid spine, so the body doesn't collapse in any particular direction. Here we go. Squeeze the core and lift off. Landing softly and lift off. Great. Let's bring the heels down. Landing softly. Great work. Shake it out. So those lower leg muscles, they might be barking at you right now. We are working them. We're building strength and control in those muscles, which are going to be the most important muscles for jumping rope. So they may be feeling a little tired right now. If that is the case, pause the video, take a minute or two, shake it out, and then hit play when you feel ready. Let's get a quick stretch for those muscles. So we have the chair here, if you have it. If you have a wall, use a wall. If you have nothing, use nothing. Take a step back with the left leg, root that heel into the ground, and lunge the body forward. If you can, try to pick those back toes up towards your shin. We're trying to lengthen out the back side of the lower leg muscles. Careful not to overarch your back here, like this. Keep the spine nice and neutral. Plant the foot down, bring it in, and slide that other foot back. Drive the heel into the ground and lunge forward. If it feels good, you can pick that front heel off the ground. We are focusing on stretching out the back leg. Take a couple breaths here. Great. To bring it in and take the other leg out. This time we're going to bend this back leg instead of it being straight. Put a soft bend to it, just like that, and you're going to feel this stretch deep in the Achilles tendon. Again, trying to drive that heel into the ground and bring it in. Switch it. Soft bend to the knee, keeping that heel on the ground. If your heel's coming off the ground, try sitting back a little further. That might help you out. All right, great. Stand up, bring the feet in, and let's continue. So the feet are shoulder width apart. Step one, spread those toes nice and wide. Root through the platforms. Find that spring. Before we start jumping, we want to feel this spring before we get into it. And let's jump. Landing softly. We're trying to make this jump as small as possible right now. All we want is enough space for a rope to pass beneath our foot. We're not jumping over a dog. We're not jumping over a log. We're not jumping over a frog. We're jumping over a rope. So we just want that much space beneath our foot. Typically it's like a couple centimeters, an inch. Here we go. Jump. And jump. Landing softly. Jump. So right now we're landing with both feet accepting weights together at the same time. And jump. Tune into the foundation. Are you favoring one side more than the other? And jump. Try to evenly distribute that weight. And jump. And jump. Go ahead and continuously jump. If you feel ready. Up. Landing softly. keeping those heels off the ground. Trying not to make a sound. Well, the rhymes are hot today. We do get a slight bend to the knees when we're landing. Okay, don't keep the knees rigid. Keep the knees soft, but not so soft that you end up squatting. You will definitely feel you lose your flow when we do that. Take a moment to connect with the breath. And relax it down, slow and steady. Mom spaghetti. Great, shake it out. So when we jump rope, there are a few ways we can land. Sometimes we land with both feet on the ground at the same time. Sometimes we land with most of the weight on one side and a little bit of support from the other side. Sometimes we land with one foot on the ground. It really comes down to what feels good for you. So let's practice a couple other landing techniques. So as we stand here, our body weight is centered between our 2 feet. Let's shift that weight over onto the right leg. And we can place our hand on the chair here. Take the left foot and roll it up onto that tiptoe. This will allow that left side to support the body, but will promote more effort in the right leg. With that right foot, let's spread those toes wide, root to the platform, and rise up. Take it down slowly, slow and steady, landing softly. Great, take it up and down. If you feel like you're getting it, you can let go of the chair, take it up, root through the platform, even pressure, take it down. Great, take it up and down. Awesome. Roll that foot back down to the ground and shift the body weight over to the left leg. Roll up onto the right tiptoe, hand on the chair if you'd like. Spread the toes wide, root through the platform, float up. Take it down slowly. We're building strength here. Take it up, take it down. Great, take it up and down. Last one, up and down. Great, roll that foot back down, shift the body weight over to the right, roll up onto that left tiptoe, and let's see if we can spring on that right leg. We're just going to pulse the body on that spring level with most of the weight on one side. We want to be able to do this without the heel collapsing on the ground. So find what feels good and roll that foot back to the ground, shift the weight over to the left, roll up onto the right tiptoes, find that spring here. Find the spring. Balance, maintain that pressure through the 4 corners of the platforms. And great, roll that foot back down. Let's shift back over to the right, roll up onto the left tiptoes, float up all the way and take that opposite foot up. Slowly lower back down to the ground if you can. If you're not quite ready for that yet, it is okay to keep that opposite toe on the ground. Here we go. Float up and down. You could also consider coming up with both legs and coming down with one leg. Here we go. Up and down. And up and down. Great. Place the foot on the ground, shift over to the left, roll up onto the right tiptoes, pick it up if you can. If not, it's okay, leave it on the ground, float up and down. Slow and controlled is the name of the game. Take it up and down. Up, down, up, down. Great, place it on the ground and let's center our body weight again. So next, let's shift it to the side, do a couple pulses, and then shift to the other side, do a couple pulses, and shift. And when we shift, we come up onto that tiptoe of the opposite leg. Feel free to move at your own pace. We are building strength in those ankles. We're building stability. Great. Let's start picking up the pace and consecutively go side to side like this. And we're starting to create some rhythm with the feet. When we land on that dominant leg, that opposite leg comes and just taps the ground after. So we're going ta-ta, ta-ta, ka-ta, ka-ta, ka-ta. Ka-ta, 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 ka-ta. Great. If you feel like you can, pick up the pace and see if you can minimize the amount of side-to-side movement we have while still maintaining that slight body weight shift. And go ahead and make that sound with your foot on the ground. You should hear that 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Tune into the foundation here. Are the toes still spread wide? If you feel like you're landing heavy and you're having a hard time shifting weight side to side, make sure that our core is lifted up and we're staying light as a feather. We don't want to land heavy, sinking into that leg. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to pick up the pace. Great work. Excellent. Relax it down nice and slow. Great, so that footwork pattern is called the boxer skip. It's a very rhythmic footfall, and it's a great technique to use once your body starts to get tired from jumping, but you want to work on stamina and endurance. That's the one to go to. Let's get a quick stretch. Bring the heels together, turn the feet out to an angle that feels comfortable for you. And let's bend the knees. Keep the feet flat on the ground, pushing the knees away from the midline, keeping the body up. Try not to lean forward like this. Try to keep it straight up and stand up. And take it down. Feel that stretch in the lower legs. We're picking up the foot towards the shins and stand up. And take it down and take it up. Remember, you got this trusty chair here if we need it at any time. And take it down. Great. Last one. Take it down. Get a nice diamond in the lower legs and up. Shake it out. We have one more footfall pattern to cover, and that is the run step. So the run step involves accepting all of the body weight on one leg and then alternating that leg like we're running. This requires the most amount of strength and stability in the ankle joint. This technique is ideal for faster speeds. You know, when the tempos are up and we got to keep the legs moving, this is the go-to, because naturally we run with one foot hitting the ground compared to our first technique, which is two-legged bounce like this. Like who runs with two legs at the same time? Kangaroos, that's who. Do they? You know, I've actually never seen a kangaroo before. Anyways, I'll demonstrate it here. Always start from that spring level. Never start cold here. We never want to start from this cold resting position because we want to make sure that the muscles are woken up. We want to make sure the muscles are woke and ready. So always start from the spring level and start alternating legs here. I invite you to join me if you have not already. We're landing softly. We don't need to jump very high. This doesn't feel much like a jump. It feels more like picking up one leg at a time. And during that time where the legs are switching, that's when the rope will pass beneath. Compared to when both feet are on the ground, that feels like a jump. But this run step does not feel like that. At least to me. It may feel like that to you, and that is okay. We want to make sure we're breathing. We want to make sure we're landing with good mechanics, tuning into that foundation every time we land. cores tight. Connect with the breath. Decide if we're breathing in for 4, out for 4, in for 3, out for 3, in for 2, out for 2. Try to keep the core tight. Stabilize the shoulders so we don't get the arms waving everywhere. Not yet, at least. Great, let's take it back into the boxer skip. Kata, kata, tata, tata. Just notice how these two techniques feel different. The run step and the boxer skip feel different. Great, take it to the two-legged bounce. Boom, 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 boom. Notice these 3 techniques feel different. And as we mentioned earlier, they serve a different purpose. And slowly lower to the ground. Excellent job. So let's create a little exercise, a little drill to work these 3 footfall patterns. Let's do 8 regular bounces into 8 boxer skips into 8 run steps. 8, 8, and 8. And let's do that for a total of 4 rounds. 8 bounces, 8 boxer skips, 8 run steps, times 4 rounds. Here we go. Feel free to move at my tempo or move at a pace that feels comfortable for you. Let's go in 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, a 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. Bounce, bounce, boom, boom, boom. Landing softly. Boxer skip. 3, 4, 5, a 6, a 7, a 8. Run step. 3, 4, 5, 6. Round 3. Bounce, bounce. 3, 4. Boxer skip. Run step. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last time. Bounce. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, a 8. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And relax softly. There we go. Great work. Let's stretch it out. Facing the chair, take a step back, lunging it forward. If you have that wall, press into that wall. It will feel so good. Giving some length to that back, lower leg. Those muscles were working today. They were working. Really drive the top of that foot towards the shin to lengthen out the calves. Great. While you're here, go ahead and roll up onto that platform. Let's stretch out the bottom of the foot. Feel free to move around. Find something that feels good for you here. And bring that foot in. Switch legs. Drive that heel towards the ground. Back leg is straight. Lunging forward. Y'all did such an amazing job with those. I am so proud of you all. Great, go ahead and roll up onto the back foot, stretching out the plantar fascia, which is the tissue at the bottom of the foot. Bring it in. Great, let's stand with the heels together, feet turned out, something that feels good. Take the left leg, whatever angle it's turned to, go straight out from there, and then slide it back until you have your front heel connected to your back toe. From here, stand up nice and straight, bend the knees, lowering the hips towards the ground, keeping both heels on the ground, and bring it up. Great, we have the chair here if you need it. And bend it down, trying to feel that stretch in the Achilles tendon of that back leg. And up, and take it down. Move around here, find what feels good for you, and take it up. Great, bring the feet back together, heels together. Right leg, whatever angle it's turned to, slide the foot straight out in that plane, and then take it back until that toe touches your front heel. And again, bend both knees to lower the hips towards the ground, feeling that stretch in the back Achilles tendon. And take it up. And take it down. And move around. Find what feels good. Take it up. Last time, take it down. And take it up. Great, feet together. Big breath in, reach up. Exhale, take it down. There we go. Excellent work today. I'm so proud of you all for showing up and conquering all of the drills we worked today. We worked on strength, we worked on balance, stability, we worked on weight shifts, and throughout the practice we introduced several new terms such as the platform, the spring, the bounce, the boxer skip, the run step, and these are terms that we will review and build upon in our next practice. But that was our foundation, and as we start layering in the jump rope, we will always come back to check in on that foundation to make sure that we are practicing safely and taking care of our bodies. You may experience your calves or muscles in your foot start barking at you later today or tomorrow, and please understand that that is a normal part of the process. Our body is learning to do something new, and as we practice it and keep doing it with good body mechanics, the body will adapt. And the muscles will start to understand what's going on. Again, I'm so proud of you for showing up today and getting it done. Please let me know how you did in the comments below. And while you're there, let's spread some love and encouragement to our community who is going on this journey with us. It is such an honor and a privilege to guide you on this journey. I will see you tomorrow for day 2. Take care.